Good morning. Well, it's actually afternoon, right?
Good afternoon. In 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Hi, everybody.
Hi there.
So we'll just wait till more people pop on and we'll get started. Two minutes.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Debbie. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, I didn't want to miss it.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to have fun today. Okay, so I'm a stickler on time, so we're almost there. At 12 noon, what I'm going to ask you to do two things is to mute your microphone and to draw your attention to the bottom of the screen where the chat feature is. As we go through the tour, if you have any questions, I'll ask you to write the questions down in the chat box. We'll conclude the tour and then I'll try to answer anything that you might come up with on this particular property. And if I can answer it, I'll get back to you with that answer. All right. So we are going to be touring 205 Bobcat Trail today. And this is 205 Bobcat Trail from the aerial. And I want to have you take note of how big this property is. This is 15.69 acres, and 14.07 acres are actually no HOA, no CC&Rs. The estate decided where my little mouse is going, this parcel right here is actually part of La Barranca, and they bought that parcel to protect the views of Lee Mountain, Courthouse Butte, and create a sanctuary, if you will. So the actual house itself sits on 10,125 square feet. Today we're going to tour 7,911 square feet in the main house. Then we're going to tour the efficiency, which is roughly about 500 square feet. And then we're going to go to the 1,717 square foot guest house. And you're just going to be wowed by some of the appointments of this amazing estate. Keep in mind, this house is all on one level. So if you have clients that are demanding an estate with single level, hard to find with exquisite red rock views in Sedona at this time. So this house is now priced at $4.55 million, and we are at the foyer. And what I want you to see, there's only actually three steps that go into the foyer, but if you wanted no steps whatsoever, you could access the property this way. You'll see some of the appointments. I'm showing you Venetian plaster. To the south of this very magnificent formal foyer is the powder bath, Rhodesian teak, carved sink, inlay with silver. You'll see the stained glass. Right off the right or to the north of the front entry door, you'll see the mini master. They love to travel, so they collect a lot of African art, and there's a lot of influence from safari throughout the property, and you can see the appointments of tile, ceramic tile floors, and upgraded Berber carpet here. But every single every single bedroom and every single room, Don Woods, the architect on this, took in effect views. He wanted anybody staying in this estate to have magnificent views, and you can see that by the picture windows. A great little coffee bar for this mini master as we head out back to our main room. Now we're into the great room, and I'm gonna make you a little dizzy right now because I want to show you some of the details. The tongue and wood groove ceilings, the Ponderosa Viga beams. As you can see, this is a huge room. I mean, you've got a baby grand piano, and if you were to do the measurements of this room, you're at about almost 75 across and 30 feet wide. So that's a huge entertaining space. The dining room, on both sides, you have a buffet as well as a wine bar and gold-plated sinks as well as jade granite. And the details here are magnificent. Look at the tile inlay around this amazing dining room table. Note that the furniture, a lot of the art that you're seeing, linens, dishes, are all available as a separate bill of sale. We're going to step into this formal library for a minute. I always think of My Fair Lady, but I think of My Fair Lady on steroids because of this amazing view from the library. You've got cherry wood floors. We're heading out back into the great room, and I'm going to take you now down what I call the master wing. So when you get to the master wing, you'll notice a lot of built-in cabinetry and shelves for art. They're big. This is a great house and great wall space for somebody who collects great art. This is his office. It could also be a bedroom. To the west of the office is this little gym. It's got the ballet bar. It's ready for yoga or for a Peloton bike. You can see we're not going to go there yet, but there is an indoor pool off the master suite. But we're going to head back out towards the hall, and you can see once again, great wall space for art. Little nooks and everything that you could possibly need for your art collection. A half bath, ASCO washer and dryer and sink going into her closet, but I'm not going to lead you through the closet just yet because that is an outstanding closet if you collect clothes. Another fireplace, and now we are in the master. One thing to note, you've got your wet bar so you can start drinking at 6 o'clock and stay in bed. And you can also take a look at the fireplace and once again, your own private patio. There's over 4,000 square feet of patios throughout this estate. A nice little refrigerator when you need to get up and get a drink. I love this vanity. Now this lighting is actually pink light. So if you're a female, we all know this, but if you have pink light, you actually look better. So when you're putting on your makeup, you think you look like $1 million. This is a super vanity for any woman. And a man can use it too. I hear that they like to look in the mirror as well. We have some etched glass, and we have this oversized jetted tub. And look at those views from your tub. Quite romantic, I must say. You got dual sinks, you've got a steam shower, and you've got his closet. And I want to turn around real quick and go back to her closet because it's outstanding. You can tell I've been in this house a few times. So this is her closet. You can see it's ready for some major clothes action here, but quite the nice closet. So after doing a steam shower, nothing beats going into a solar heated pool. Keep in mind, this pool is 13 by 44 feet. It has its own bath. It has the setup for entertaining, once again, the sink, the wet bar, and once again, great views from this almost Olympic sized pool. All right, we're gonna head out back through the gym and through his office, and we're gonna head back out into the hallway. And I'm gonna guide you into the kitchen. Now, a couple of you that are watching this are outstanding chefs, and you might have a great client that demands the best of any kitchen. So I want to point out a couple of things that's different about this luxury house. You have gas and you have electric. You have side-by-side Sub-Zero. You have your convection microwave. You have your wok station. You have your indoor barbecue, and you have your double ovens. So if you really wanted to do damage on an evening with your family or your friends, this kitchen is outstanding. Look how big and how many people can sit up and enjoy the chef while they prepare the meal. You have your built-in desk, and we're going into now the female office or her office. Once again, look at those views, a different view altogether. One thing I will point out while you're looking out here to the south, this is actually south facing, there are 5 acres behind you, and Eric Glomsky actually met on the property and tested the soil for vineyards. So 5 acres could be vineyards, or because you're in Yavapai County and you're a horse lover, you can have actually 2 horses per acre. So that's 28 horses that could come on this property. Maybe you're a goat lover or sheep lover. Well, you can have 70 sheep on this property. Or if you like, ducks or chickens, you can actually have 112 chickens on this property. Here's the butler pantry. We've got some great sinks and another bath, and right behind this door is the bath, and that's a 3/4 bath. We're stepping now into the efficiency apartment that goes to the au pair quarter. Maybe you have a mother and father living with you. This would be a great opportunity for them. They have their nice living room, bedroom set up with their efficiency kitchen. Their full bath, of course. And then we're going right into the 3-car garage, which is full of stuff so we won't bug the personal property. Now I'm going to lead you through the garden. One of my favorite parts of this house is this actual courtyard. So as people enter, it's almost like being at West Fork, Sedona, with the sycamore trees, its own babbling brook, if you will. You can see it from this angle. Outstanding. When you walk in, your blood pressure actually drops. Now I'm going to go and take you through the guest house. And once again, there's another exit to go out to the properties. There's grass. There's the high desert. It's just a lush, beautiful place to be. Now we've got the guest house. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath guest house, full-on formal dining, full kitchen, and 2 bedrooms. One acts as a master with its own bath, 3/4 bath on that one, full bath on this one. And this is kind of a fun room for games or for extra. If family's coming over, you've got plenty of room for them to sleep, and you've got your infamous bunk room. So in a matter of minutes, we have toured 10,125 square feet. And now I'm going to take us out to the courtyard. All right. Anybody have any questions for me? Anyone? Yes, Cindy.
Hey there. Hey, I actually thought you were going to teach us how to do that. Did you just take your Matterport tour and basically narrate what was already created in the Matterport tour?
Yes.
Or were you walking through while you're talking to us?
I'm actually walking through the Matterport while I'm talking to you.
Okay, so this is something that was already created by a professional company. It wasn't something that you were creating yourself.
No, I've used the 3D for years, and I'm using this, and I'm literally walking you through. And I would do the same if you had a buyer that, you know, was a little nervous in COVID times. I do the same thing, have you there with your buyer and walk them through this way on Zoom.
Okay. I have been to the property personally, and unfortunately, this still doesn't do it justice. You know, the views just do not pop the way they do when you're on the property.
Right.
And I know that was always a problem with Matterport, you know, and trying to get the view inside the house. Is there any way of inserting still photos that have the actual views for people to see better what the views look like?
I absolutely can, because I do have aerial shots and I can do that. And that's a great recommendation, adding those as well. That first shot kind of gives you an idea of aerial, but I have some great photos of the views.
Okay. Okay. All righty.
Thank you for that.
Hi, Chris. It's Susan Harris from Santa Fe. How are
Hey,
you?
Susan. I'm good. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, I was excited about this because I've looked at your video, which is really excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm taking off from what Cindy was saying with regard to interspersing the videos, and I wanted to ask you if you have looked at other alternatives for the 360 kind of, you know, the 3D or 360 kind of animated, something that might be animated. I'm just looking for, I mean, you did a really excellent job taking us through this 10,000 feet. It's amazing what you were able to do. And you're really great. You're a great guide. I mean, so you're the perfect person to do this, to narrate this. Okay. So I'm just wondering if there is a way to kind of combine that sense that we get when we see your video, that animated look that kind of takes us through so that we're actually part of the action, you know, as we follow you through, and you can be narrating or something. Is there some way we could find to integrate that kind of experience, I guess I would call it?
I think we can. I think what I'll probably want to do is re-edit and go back and put it in video format, and then I'd intersperse video as well as the Matterport, and I think that's totally feasible to do. In terms of equipment to do that, we've got that, so I think it's, you know, just a matter of putting it together.
So when you say you've got equipment, is this something that you personally have, or that you have access to professionals who have, and so you would bring them back in to perhaps redo?
I do. I would go to the professionals. I know that I think now is probably a good time for anybody on this call to learn more about how to do more videography and everything else. I do know Amazon's backlogged on cameras, and you know, it's crazy right now. So I think we got to rely on the professionals that really know what they're doing, and try to get creative with our photographers and be more directors to our video and our, you know, thinking this like a movie.
So when you're thinking about the people you have as your resources, what kind of approaches would they be taking to perhaps take it to this next level if you're thinking about doing it?
Well, I think one thing we're discussing is trying to get the photographer and the videographers to also push this out socially and try to get the word out, because I know, you know, we're all vying for exposure for all these listings, and we're trying to make it happen without, you know, getting, I hate to say it, getting exposed to anything. We're trying to do this as creative as possible. So I think having that discussion with the professionals and seeing which way you want to do it. And like I said, I think you become the director of your movie. You might script it. You might want to say, hey, I have helicopters coming in. You know, you can be as creative as you want and see if the photographer can do that, because they've got the hours behind them on editing. I'm only fractionally good on editing. So, you know, it's really working with the people that you trust right now and coming up with a new plan. And I think the world is your market right now. You have some opportunities to do some really creative, crazy stuff.
Right. Well, I think that this is fantastic. And I've really seen you be a leader, for those of us who know you through eXp Realty. Maybe there's some people who aren't here have come another way into this opportunity to tour with you. So I have seen you just be an incredibly creative, contributing member, and you're always coming up with great ideas. And so I so appreciate you. Just want to end my little spiel, my questions with that comment, okay?
No problem. Thank you so much for joining us and learning. I think this is what we're all trying to do, is learn.
Right. So thanks so much for making this available. Bye.
You're so welcome. Thanks for joining us, Susan. And anybody for Santa Fe, you're awesome. Thank you. Okay, and Debbie, can the land be subdivided? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So the zoning on this is RS 135. So basically you can every one house per 35,000 square feet, divide that by 14.07 acres. The only place you won't be able to subdivide is on the 1.62 acre parcel in La Barranca.
I have a question
Sure, Patty.
about the land. It appears that the house that's next door, the property that's next door, their driveway goes through the property.
So that's a great question. Yes, there is a driveway that looks like it's in front of the subject property. And I'll see if I can pull up a photo so everybody can see that again. Let me see if I can pull that up. Yep. Okay, so she's referring to this I'll call it,
Yes.
It's actually dirt. So this subject parcel to the left, what this owner has done is they are allowing, if the wash has enough water in it, they can't cross on this western portion. And to give you a better map, I'll give you this one. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a better aerial of that one for that question. So when this wash, which is over on the west, there's a gate right here to access the property, and that's an electronic gate. Right here is Jack's Canyon's wash. So when that fills up with water, it's going to be more difficult for this owner to get across that water. So they open up their gates on both sides here. There's two gates here, and they let them through, and that's an agreement. And basically, this owner owns that, and they're just doing this as a nicety when that wash gets filled. Hopefully that answers the question.
So has anyone ever approached them as far as them selling?
These folks ever selling?
Yeah,
Yes. And right now they're not interested.
they're not.
But in a couple weeks, maybe they will be.
So then I have a question about that road access from Jack's
Canyon.
Jack's Canyon Road. Is that just dirt? Is there a little bridge across that wash?
So
how accessible is that?
It's not a bridge. It's actually going down across the wash, and it's usually dry most of the year until we get a heavy rain. So this is all dirt. And then you have a gate on this side where the main entrance, where that courtyard was where we started. And then there's this exit. You can see this open space I've highlighted. This is all dirt as well. So this is paved up here, and you've got dirt and dirt.
And that access is also on 205 Bobcat's property, all of the roadway to that property.
Right, and keep in mind, this whole piece that I'm highlighting here, that's the
I can't
driveway.
see where you're highlighting, so I can only see the colors that are on the map.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move it down a little bit so you can see it. All right, so where that green space is, this is actually La Barranca open space where this road is going into Bobcat Trail.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the way
So,
into the parcel on the east, and this is the way into the parcel on the west up here on Jack's Canyon.
right, which is also on this property's property.
Correct.
Driveways to that goes through there. And
Correct.
just being nice and giving them permission. What if you didn't want them to
Then
be?
you know what? You have right away. You have the right away because the way this is set up right now, there are two gates right here and right here. And if someone really wanted to make it difficult for this owner, I hate to
Mhm.
say this, they just close those gates.
Which would give them some incentive to sell.
Correct.
Um,
Between you and I, yes, that's right.
well, that's what I've been wondering because I am interested in this property. What if you didn't want that extra lot that's in the community? I wouldn't be interested in that.
Well, this lot, I will tell you that the reason why you'd want this lot is because it really does give you a buffer between that house and the property, and it really protects your views. This estate also owned two parcels, and I'm sorry I don't have it on this map, but I recently sold those two to a person that lived in La Barranca and wanted both parcels on both sides of them to protect the views. So now we know for sure there'll be no impeded views across Jack Canyon for this particular property.
That's often, yeah, I saw that when that was up, as part of this deal.
Right.
The way it's zoned, would it be possible if I was interested in doing weddings?
Well, you're talking residential, RS 135, so now you would have to go for a variance. And since you have no codes, covenants, and restrictions, that's just something that we need to do in the inspection period to make sure that you would be able to do that through the county of Yavapai.
Right, and is that something that's difficult? I heard Sedona is a little rough on things like that.
Well, I'm going to throw this out to my other realtors that are on the call because we're in Yavapai and we're in 86351.
Right.
I think the biggest thing is you've got they would throw parties with 250 people.
Which I would be interested in doing as well.
Right. They were doing that a lot. And, your neighbor here to the south, I think the biggest thing is just getting the variance permit to do that. If you decided you wanted to do, if you had one, what could they say? It's like, this is my party, this is my house. The big thing becomes the noise ordinance, and that's for anybody living anywhere, right?
Well, yeah. And you're so far away, I don't think a noise thing would be an issue.
Right. Right.
And building like a parking lot, because I will have big parties, yes. Which is not just family reunion type things.
Right. Right.
So I wouldn't think that would be a problem.
And they've had, like I said, they would put all the cars, they bring them in and they would like line up the cars right here in this parcel all the way over to the pergola. There's an outstanding covered pergola area as well. And they would just line all the cars here.
That's cool. Okay, it seems like I had more questions, but if they can wait, I guess.
We do have, this particular parcel is on a well, and that's 30 gallons per minute, and it's about 400 feet deep.
Wow, that's great.
It also has a 1/5 ownership of a well shared well for, irrigation as well. So you have 2 sites for well, which is great.
That's good. And building more buildings on the property wouldn't be a problem.
No.
Okay.
And if you want, Pat, I can send you a link that might help as well. I have a built out website on this property, if that would be helpful. Yes,
that would be great. Thank you.
If you wouldn't mind, just, would you give me your email and I'll just send that over to you?
Yes. pattisrael@yahoo.
Got it.
So I do have a real estate agent. I just haven't been able to
No problem.
come up. I'm waiting on some funding, but
No
But
problem.
I'm very interested in this property.
It's a great house, and I'm happy to give you anything, and we're open to cooperate. And just with, I know the family would like to sell. They're now 2.45 million under appraisal, so they're motivated to sell.
I did have a question on the first master that you walked into was not the main master. Is there a bathroom?
Yes, it's a full
Okay.
bathroom.
You kind of skipped over that, and I was like, oh my, I can't imagine having two masters and the second master not having a bathroom.
It's a nice sized bathroom and well appointed. And I will send you the video so you get a better look at that bathroom.
Thank you. And anything with the land, like I'm glad you said in this, because I didn't get this before, is that there's 5 acres. I wanted to know what was south of the house.
Right.
And then
it's
how
actually
many
a little
acres?
larger. Yeah, it's a little larger than 5, but it's, I rounded it down, but
Okay.
it's significant. And it's right now, they've got some raised beds back there for gardens as well,
Mm-hmm.
and grass. It's just beautiful.
And then the parcel that goes east to west, the top of the L, let's say. Do you know how much acreage that is?
I'll have to measure it. I'll
Just
measure it
curious.
for you. Yeah.
And is there a drop off into that, the wash behind the little pergola that's out there in that
Yes.
property?
So I'll send you a topographic map. Will show the decrease in going down into the wash, because the wash literally runs along. You can actually see it here.
Okay. And only in heavy rains,
Heavy rains.
because it doesn't seem like there's any mountains there to have any snow
No, this
melt
is
or anything like that.
The subject property is very flat. Where
Mhm.
you're going to see the contours is right about here where my cursor is.
Yeah, I could kind of see that from the satellite view.
Yeah, kind of going in. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And will the city ever pave Bobcat Road? I was surprised. I did drive up to the property. I couldn't come in the day I was up there, but it was just gravel. That surprised me.
It is gravel. So what you'd want to do on this portion here all the way through is get the subject neighbors, to see if they'd want to go in on paying for a paved road. I know that the Cobles had tried to get people together, but like anything, it's trying to get everybody to share in the cost, and some didn't want to do the cost.
Of course not. Of course not. Okay. I thank you.
Well, great questions. Fantastic questions. And it's just great to have you guys here to be part of this virtual tour.
I have one more interesting question.
Sure.
In
No
the living room, on the back wall, I guess you would call it, looks like doors. They're wooden doors. Cannot figure out for the life of me what that is.
So when you open those doors up, that's actually your contents of your media. So that's where they keep all the media. And that art that's above the actual fireplace in that great room, there's a button, and that art goes flying up into and behind the fireplace, and you now have your TV screen.
Well, that's a nice thing to know. Thank you.
So when you entertain, you can bring that piece of art down and make it look beautiful versus having an electronics exposed.
And the pool is heated by solar.
Yes.
Is there any other solar for the house?
No, they just did passive solar for that pool.
Okay. Okay.
Wonderful. Great
Thank
questions. Well, gang, I appreciate everybody being here today. And it's been, oh, I see a little chat box. I have another question, I think. Drop the mic. Let's drop the mic. All right. All right, guys, thanks for coming. I hope you learned. Hope you'll share, do this with your clients. If you need any of our listings, if you have buyers, we'd love to do this with you and your buyers, walk through, because we know the properties. And I think if we start doing this as listing agents or real estate agents, I think we're going to be ahead of the curve. Yay. Go. All right, everybody have a great day. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you.